Hey, what's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock, and I get asked a lot about this here device, this burly machine cross-up. I just got one in the mail. Shout outs to Hitbox. I appreciate y'all letting me be one of the part of the alpha program. Thank you. But in all honesty, I don't know if I'm ready to have an informed opinion. I played on it maybe 3 days, for maybe an hour or two each, playing some rank, playing through training mode. I'm still trying to digest and see how I really feel about it. But my suspicion, as far as Street Fighter V is concerned, there's not really a lot of benefits to play on cross-up as far as like cheating, you know, different cool things you can do. And that's a pretty loaded subject itself. And I'm going to try to navigate through how I feel about it as far as those things are concerned. As far as hitbox versus cross-up on Street Fighter V, I play better on a hitbox right now. I've played on stick longer than I played on hitbox, but I haven't played stick on Street Fighter V. I've been playing on hitbox since this game came out. That was a whole shebang. I played on hitbox because I wanted to be the best Pokemon master, and I thought hitbox was the best at the time. But now, cross-up, going back to stick, I don't feel like I'm at my peak as far as execution. There are some things I still do better on a stick, regardless if it's cross-up or just a regular arcade stick. Like uppercuts, I still think I can rip uppercuts faster. I think I can rip critical arts faster on a stick than I can on a hitbox, because doing this compared to doing it with your wrist or like these two fingers, the ring finger, that's the biggest hurdle as far as learning hitboxes, increasing your ring finger, the dexterity of it. And that's one thing that the cross-up tries to bypass, but still offer the benefits of what you can do with hitbox as far as shortcuts, because you have the directions on top here. You have left, down, right, and up here. You got Whiskey Machine with the tier 2. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. Morning to you as well. So, maybe we should talk about these directional buttons on top with what I feel like I know. Okay, as far as Tekken and electrics, yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's pretty ridiculous. It's very easy to do electrics. I can do electrics on stick, on both sides. On hitbox, I can do electrics really well on the left side, but the right side is where I have problems. And this bypasses that because you have access to directions with your right hand. But there's something very important that I want to point out that I don't feel like enough people talk about with these direction buttons on top. So these buttons are actually, maybe I should zoom in on this a little bit. These are 30mm buttons. And this is important. These are 30mm buttons, as opposed to hitbox that has the 22mm buttons. So it's like these start buttons. It's the size of these buttons. So it's much more compact. So because these are 30mm buttons, that increases the distance between like this light kick and this right direction. So you can see it takes like my whole hand to reach across there. So if I were to use these directional buttons on top, it's harder for me to switch back and forth between if I needed to use light kick or any of these bottom rows of buttons. But maybe in some situations it's not necessary to access that row. But that is a major, not a flaw, but maybe a weakness. I don't, even with hitbox, I'm not a fan of switching my hands to different buttons, because the distance of my finger from that button is gonna pretty much increases the startup of anything. I might be surprised, but if you play on a pad, your fingers are going to be directly on top of the buttons, so there's no travel distance. When you play on a stick, oftentimes people they float their fingers. They don't have their fingers on top of it, on top of the buttons, so there's no distance. And that distance can literally be a frame of time, and that can, you know, effectively slow down your speed that you can, respond to things. So if you have buttons over here and you have to switch to a different position, it's going to take up more time. Now, if it's effective or not, like if you're in a moment where you're moving around here and then you got to hit light kick or one of these bottom row buttons, then yeah, that's not it's going to damage your ability to perform it faster. But then that can be compensated maybe by just using the joystick, right? So as far as the benefits for Street Fighter V, you're still going to have your crouching DP like this. I don't know the best way to perform it. Like maybe like this, I guess. I don't know. But this is much easier on a regular hitbox because you have the buttons right here. You can mash with your other hand while your other hand is mashing the input. But it's going to be harder to do that with these directional buttons. It's not impossible, but I don't know. Maybe there's other ways you can do it. Like, this might even be a good example. Let's say this is a reversal for Gil, this drop kick. I might be able to do like this mash that right direction, but you can see that this is just not worth it to do. My hand is so awkwardly placed like this. To hit this forward direction and then hold down and then hit light kick like this, it's not worth it. So I might as well just do this. But the thing is it really benefiting? I don't think it really does have any benefits as far as that's concerned. Especially Street Fighter V, there's not a whole lot of like unique type of shortcuts. Charge characters is a different story. But even charge characters, let's say that you throw a Sonic Boom with Guile and then you get that immediate charge. Are you getting that anyways if you're playing on a stick or a pad? I think in most cases, the answer is yes. You just throw the Sonic Boom and then hit back immediately, and then you still have to wait for that fireball to recover to throw another one. So, you know, how much of a difference is it really making? I don't think it's exactly clear. It makes the execution part maybe simplified because you don't have to go from left to right, but I don't know if I'm sold either way. But charge moves can be easy also because you have this down button. So you can hold down with this and then hit the up button, and then EX like headbutt with Urium would be super easy. But is it really that big of a difference? I don't know if that's really a big difference. So one thing that maybe is a benefit for cross-up in terms of like backdashing that you can still do this on hitbox, but if I'm holding back and I double tap forward, that'll give me a backdash, and then I'm immediately going back to forward as I do this. I think that's about it. You can't really see my inputs well because my microphone's in the way and this camera setup that I need. So if you look, I'm holding back and then I backdash, and then immediately it goes to back because I'm holding back with this, which you can't see because I move my in camera. That could be it. I was also trying to theory craft like how you can use empty V reversals. You can do negative edge V reversals in this game. And the benefit of that is to not do an attack. So with Gil, if I V reversal with 3 kicks and I hit 3 kicks, it's gonna give me forward heavy. But if I V reversal it negative, then I'll go forward and back. But if I V reversal it with the cross up, I can hold down 3 kicks and then release it while I hit forward here, and then that will give me. I'll block earlier if I do an empty V reversal. Like super conditional. And I probably should demonstrate that. It's just so, like, not a big deal. I do think cross-up is better than an arcade stick because it's got cool features. Like, I can control my music. Look at that. I can control my Spotify with my cross-up. I zoomed in earlier. I'm not really sure how or why I would do that. But look. I zoomed in with my cross-up. And there's a bunch of other features too, and it's got a lot of customizability. You can make the buttons do different things. There's like a software. There's a lot of cool things you can do with this device. But as far as Street Fighter V is concerned, I think it's better than a stick. But I hesitate to say that hitbox is better. But one thing that's really important is that left ring dexterity. Because if you can't develop that to play on hitbox, then maybe stick is better, and then if you're playing on stick, then I think cross-up is better than a stick. Just by itself as a stick, I think it's really solid. It's really big, and I'm not sponsored by Hitbox. I'm not paid to say any of these things. This is just bleh. It's not even like my I've played on this for a year opinion. This is still me trying to figure it all out and solve it. These are just my open thoughts, and I think I pretty much covered everything. Street Fighter V is not a complicated game. Maybe Tekken, for sure, there would be benefits for machines. Street Fighter V is not like an execution heavy game. It's not really what this would like. I guess that's it. I don't think there's anything else that I really need to cover as far as that's concerned. I think it's a good product. Hope we learned something. I'm AutoMattock.